Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news is 2 people dead in a crash in Raleigh. This is a live look at that scene. It's on Lewisburg Road near I-540. We'll tell you what we have learned from that scene. It's had the road closed since 3:30 this morning.
And we could be looking at the hottest day so far this year. If we hit 90 officially, I'll show you how many days it could be this hot.
U.S. stock futures, the Asian market, the European market, all down this morning after President Donald Trump's tariff announcements. Join me in the WRAL Live Center as we break down the numbers.
And countdown to Dreamville. Tens of thousands of music fans will fill Dick's Park this weekend. What you need to know about road closures and traffic backups that come along with this festival. It's going to be a great time, but it's going to be crowded. We'll have all of that information and a live report from Kelsey Coffey coming up. Thanks for joining us on your Friday morning. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your Friday morning. And folks going to Dreamville probably didn't think they would need those water stations that have become popular over the last couple of years out there, but they will. They'll need them. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be really hot. I mean, really unseasonably hot. We could end up tying or breaking a record today. Tomorrow, it stays hot on Sunday as well. So both days at Dreamville could be dangerously hot. We take a live look at Durham right now. We're starting off with cloud cover. That will keep our temperatures down a little bit this morning. Right now, it is 74 degrees, which is about 5 degrees above our normal high temperature. A dew point sitting at 65, which is definitely humid, but not as sticky as we often see in the middle of the summer. Our temperatures are low to mid 70s right now, which is very warm. Lots of cloud cover to start the day, but watch how the coverage of clouds decreases as we get through the afternoon. When that happens, our temperatures will increase. We could hit that 90-degree mark. If we don't hit it today, we'll have another chance on Saturday and Sunday. What we're also watching for Sunday is the approach of a powerful front that's back to our west. Right now, we have a level 1 risk for severe storms. We're going to talk about the timeline and why it looks like this may slow down a little bit, which would be good news for Dreamville.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. All the major routes are delay-free right now, but we want to get right to that breaking news, that crash on Lewisburg Road, a deadly crash shutting down Lewisburg Road at Botany Bay Drive, not far from I-540. And that's where we find WRAL's Eric Miller on the scene. Eric, set the scene and let us know what happened.
Again, within the last 30 minutes, we've seen investigators continuing to pour over this scene. Just take a look at this behind us. This is Lewisburg Road right at Botany Bay Drive. We're right across from 5401 North, that major community here just on the north side of 540. You can see investigators here completely filling this road here and debris scattered from more than a city block. You take a look at some of the video we got from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker a little bit earlier this morning. You can see there are 2 cars involved in this crash. Raleigh police say they got the call right around 3:30 this morning. So they say speed may have been a factor here. It's not clear whether drugs or alcohol may have played a role, but we know the drivers of both of these vehicles died in this crash. There was nobody else inside either vehicle, and no one was transported to the hospital. Now, investigators have been out here for hours. They're likely going to be out here for hours, so all lanes of Lewisburg Road likely to remain shut down for the time being. Ken, it could have a huge impact on our commute this morning. I know you're tracking the best way for folks to get around it.
I mean, Lewisburg Road is a major thoroughfare for folks in Roseville and going to Roseville, but Capitol Boulevard really is your best bet in terms of avoiding what's happening there on Lewisburg Road. The other troubled spot this morning, all I-95 northbound lanes are shut down near Micro. This is a situation involving a tractor trailer. We'll have a little bit more on that in just a few minutes.
And that part of I-95, Ken, north in Johnston County, closed now after a tractor trailer. This one caught on fire there. That happened right near the Bagley Road exit. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows the fire crews working to put out those flames in the truck's cabin. We are working to learn the condition of the driver. Right now, people on that road are being sent right off of exit 105 and then right back onto the highway.
Your time is 6:04 here in the WRAL Live Center. Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood to show you what the U.S. futures are looking like overnight. You may recall yesterday the stock market closed at its worst day in 5 years, and that slide continues overnight. The U.S. futures down with the S&P down 40 points We have the Dow Jones down 445 and the NASDAQ down 90. And yesterday morning around this time, we were sitting at about the Dow Jones down nearly 1,200 points. So there's something for perspective there. But I also want to show you how the other markets are looking, right? So this is a look at the European markets here. The numbers on the very right shows the percentage change from yesterday compared to the day. But you'll just see the column next to that, how many points that is down, as well as the Asian markets as well on this one. So a lot of red across the board, a lot of down arrows there. I'm showing you obviously a lot of numbers here today, and you may be wondering what's happening with your own portfolio. I might suggest that you speak with your financial planner in case you don't want to make too many hasty moves during this tumultuous time for the markets.
All right, thanks, Chris. And with all of that in mind, this morning we'll get new information about how the country's labor market is handling financial uncertainty. The Bureau of Labor Statistics will release its March jobs report at 8:30 this morning. Forecasters expect it will show the economy added 140,000 jobs in March. That would be a slowdown from the 151,000 added in February. NC State economist Mike Walden says today's results likely won't show the impact new tariffs could have on the job market.
I don't know that this is a key job report, but I think it is a prelude to even greater concerns about what the tariffs are going to do regarding employment, unemployment, business returns, and of course the big R word out there is looming.
The R word there, recession. We will continue to watch how the markets respond today.
The countdown is on to the Dreamville Festival in Raleigh. It all gets started tomorrow at noon at Dix Park. The park will close to the public 10 o'clock tonight. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live on Western Boulevard this morning. And Kelsey, tens of thousands of music fans will be at Dreamville this weekend. But even folks who are not going to that festival, especially right on that road where you're standing, that'll mean some traffic trouble.
Yes, Jeff, the traffic could start impacting folks as early as today. So you can see that there's a sign here on Western Boulevard. There's several along this road that warn drivers about using alternate routes because we're expecting to see so many people here this weekend for Dreamville. But we'll take you to some Sky 5 video of Dix Park as crews are preparing for this big weekend. Thousands of people are en route to Raleigh for the festival. The city raked in nearly $146 million in economic impact from Dreamville last year. This weekend was set to be the final festival, but Dreamville organizers and the city of Raleigh made a big announcement yesterday. A 4-year contract for another music festival is in the works.
I think this festival now and continuing in the future is a beacon of hope and inspiration for so many people who enjoy the festival and those who just get, I guess, the residuals of it, right? But either way, it's a huge benefit for all those involved.
The city and Dreamville organizers are still ironing out the details of that contract, so we're not sure yet what the name of the new festival will be. But in the meantime, crews are working on those final preparations at Dix Park, and the park will close tonight at 10 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
There are several ways to alleviate the traffic and get to Dreamville this year. Anyone staying or parking in downtown Raleigh can ride the downtown shuttle to and from the venue. Passes cost $50 for that. They're good for the whole weekend. The shuttles pick up at Moore Square and drop off at west entrance to the festival there, and then vice versa getting back. They'll run nonstop from 10:30 in the morning until 1 a.m. You can also catch a ride on the Go Raleigh bus, routes 11 and 21. Both travel from Dix Park to downtown. That option will be a lot cheaper, maxes out at $2.50.
Today, community leaders in Durham will rally against a rezoning project in the city's historic Hayti district. Developers purchased the land along Fayetteville Street in 2022 and plan to put a mixed-use office, lab, and residential space there. Many in the Hayti community oppose the development and would like to see a plan that better benefits the local community. Tonight's rally begins at 5:30 at St. Mark AME Zion Church on South Roxborough Street.
People in a Raleigh community say this woman has been terrorizing their homes, breaking into cars and damaging property. Just a quick search of Lisa McIntyre's criminal past finds she has been arrested repeatedly in recent months. Ring doorbell footage appears to show her caught in the act here. Neighbors tell us McIntyre was most recently arrested Wednesday when she was found sleeping in a car that isn't hers. Earlier in the night, she ignored home security alarms around Lineberry Drive. WRAL saw video that appears to show her throwing pottery and yelling. People who live in the neighborhood say enough is enough.
And imagine waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to someone pounding on my door and then, doing the things that she's done. It needs to be taken seriously.
So we asked Raleigh police how they try to prevent people from repeatedly committing crimes like this, and they told us they have the Acorns unit to help anyone who is in crisis by connecting them with mental health resources.
Meredith College will celebrate the inauguration of the college's 9th president this morning. President Amy Sapp took office July 1st. She has more than 25 years of higher education experience and came to Meredith from William Woods University in Missouri. Today's inauguration begins at 10 a.m. at Jones Auditorium on Meredith campus.
Duke is gearing up for a shot at a national championship. The Blue Devils shared photos to social media showing the players there practicing on the court at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio last night. That is where Duke will take on Houston in the national semifinals. Tip-off for that game is 8:49 tomorrow night. And if the Blue Devils win that game, they'll be back on the Alamo Dome floor Monday night playing for the national title. WRAL's Chris Lee and Luis Fernandez are on their way to San Antonio this morning, and they will have live reports starting this evening on WRAL News. We want to see if you are supporting the Blue Devils here in Raleigh, from Durham, even on the road, down there in San Antonio, wherever you are. Send us your selfies, videos, and pictures to WRAL.com/reported, and we'll try to share them on television and online.
Stellantis layoffs. The car maker temporarily cuts hundreds of workers as it grapples with new tariffs. The immediate impact to factories across the U.S.
Molding Change, a pottery event in Raleigh, will send support to people recovering after Helene. We'll tell you all about it ahead in Out and About.
And today could end up being the hottest day that we've seen so far this year. Temperatures will be comfortable up through lunchtime if you want to spend some time outside, maybe eat your lunch outside. But this evening, it'll be pretty warm, 5 to 6 o'clock, still in the mid-80s. I'll show you how long our little heat wave will last.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, waking up to some cloud cover out there this morning as you're heading out to walk the dogs. You'll notice it feels humid like it did yesterday, and our temperatures are really warm. 71 at around 6 a.m., 73 at about 8 o'clock. Temperatures will hold in the 70s until we get into the afternoon and the clouds begin to clear. And when that happens, it's going to be a really warm day for us. Our temperatures, again, likely to hold up to around 80 degrees at lunchtime, but then looking at temperatures right around 90, could see the first 90-degree day of the year. And it won't be just today. We're looking at that continuing into the weekend. So we could see 89 on Saturday and then 90 again on Sunday. A cold front comes through on Sunday night, and behind that, we turn much cooler. We could see highs in the 50s on Tuesday.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we got this deadly crash on Lewisburg Road, shutting down those lanes right near the 5401 development. Let's get right to these live pictures, courtesy of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see Raleigh police officers on the scene right now. We know that 2 people died in this crash. We're working to figure out exactly how this crash happened. Of course, Eric Miller is there on the scene working to get you more information as well. Back to our traffic sensors. If you got to head north on Lewisburg Road this morning, your best bet is to take Capitol Boulevard or even Forestville Road, depending on where you're headed. Coming up, an update on the situation on I-95, shutting down lanes in Micro.
All right, thank you, Ken. Stellantis is temporarily cutting 900 workers at 5 facilities in the U.S. after tariffs were announced. The company is also pausing production at an assembly plant in Mexico and Canada. It includes Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram vehicles, and more. The plants are in Michigan and Indiana. Most of those workers will not immediately lose pay due to the terms of their union contract.
The measles vaccination rate in the U.S. may be even lower than previously estimated. It is recommended that children get their first measles shot by the age of 15 months. A new report from a healthcare analytics company finds in 2024, nearly a third of young children did not get their first shot on schedule. In 2020, more than 3/4 of kids had gotten that shot by the recommended age of 15 months. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says at least 95% of children in kindergarten need to have 2 doses of the vaccine in order to prevent outbreaks.
Coming up on Today, meet the dancing Nana. 102-year-old Shirley Goodman is a viral sensation with more than 100,000 followers on Instagram. She sits down with Al Roker to talk about her lifelong love of dancing and her secret to longevity.
Up until 90, you were playing tennis.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible. What do you attribute your longevity to?
The tap dancing, of course, positive attitude, and chocolate.
Chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Yes, I love it. Not only does she have the moves, she is resilient. She's overcome 2 heart surgeries. You can hear more of her incredible story coming up this morning on Today.
We're going to dance right into the weekend with a lot of events happening this weekend in the Triangle.
Yeah, let's start off with WRAL's Out and About with a market that benefits Helene victims. Tomorrow, potters from Western North Carolina will be at Raleigh's Ironworks for markets benefiting people recovering from Hurricane Helene. 80% of Asheville's River Arts District was destroyed by Helene. The area included 26 warehouses and 300 artists. You can help them bounce back from tragedy. The Western North Carolina Hurricane Relief Potters Market takes place tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at Raleigh Ironworks. The event is free and all proceeds go directly to Western North Carolina artists.
Fest in the West is a great family-friendly pick for the weekend. It's happening tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Mills Park in Cary. There'll be 2 stages for performances, lots of activities, including jump rope, an obstacle course, petting zoo, and admission is free.
And on Sunday, the Harlem Globetrotters are in town. You can see them at Lenovo Center in Raleigh. This is always a fun event with lots of interactive games. Some tickets are still available. For more about these and other events, go to WRAL.com and click Out and About. Yeah, Jeff is singing their song. I love it.
That sweet Georgia Brown.
Yeah.
Right? Bring it full circle here. It's a great event. Elizabeth Gardner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. It'll be hot if you were outside for any of those events this weekend.
That's pretty impressive whistling there, Jeff. That sounds great. Cloudy skies this morning. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill. It is muggy and it's warm. It feels almost like summer. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Let's move forward and talk about what is going to happen for the next several days. First of all, if you remember yesterday about this time, we were watching this cold front move across Nashville up toward Lexington. Lots of tornado warnings along this. There are a few isolated severe thunderstorm warnings that have been popping up along this line, but it's settled down a little bit. The problem is it's going to sit here. You see the red and the blue together there, so that signifies a stationary front, meaning this isn't moving. So there's still going to be a lot of severe weather and a lot of heavy rain all the way from Texas through parts of Arkansas and up towards, say, the Ohio Valley and along the Mississippi as well. So a real mess back to the west, but not as many reports of severe storms as there were yesterday, or at least the day before. So last 24 hours, 1 report of tornado damage, 43 wind damage reports, and 32 hail reports. And so it was in the hundreds the day before. Our cold front will continue to gradually slip eastward Saturday and into Sunday. It doesn't move through our area until Sunday night into Monday. We do have a low-end severe threat for Sunday night, and that's going to be from Raleigh northward and westward. That level 1 risk just means an isolated small chance for thunderstorms. Here's the reason why this front's going to remain stationary and produce heavy rain and severe storms across the Midwest for the next several days. It's thanks to that high that isn't moving, and we do have a severe threat along that front too. Back here across Arkansas in particular, it's a level 4 risk, meaning damaging winds and tornadoes are likely. Also, still more rain, anywhere from 7 to 10 inches there across parts of Arkansas. And of course, when the front moves into our area Sunday night, it could affect Dreamville. The big thing for Dreamville is going to be hot, 89 Saturday and 90 on Sunday. So just be prepared for the heat. And then it looks like the front's slowing down a little bit. We'll pause it here at 10 and notice only about 0.04 of an inch of rain at about 10 or 10:30. And then as we get through Sunday night into Monday, we could see as much as 1.5 inches to 2 inches. So definitely looking at the potential for some heavy rain. But the hope is that it doesn't start until after Dreamville is over. So if you're headed to Dreamville, just make sure that you keep checking back with us as we continue to see new information coming in about that. And then turning a whole lot cooler behind the front. run. Ken?
Right, Elizabeth, thanks. Hey, we're staying on top of that breaking news in northern Wake County. This deadly crash shutting down Lewisburg Road, not far from I-540, more specifically Botany Bay Drive. You can see those northbound lanes are closed. Here's a live look with the help of photographer Charles Bradley showing you exactly how Raleigh police are working the scene. We do know that two people, the driver of two cars, both died in that in this incident here on near the 5401 development there in northern Wake County. We're working to get a little bit more information, but if you got to head north this morning, Capitol Boulevard really is your best bet, and depending on where you're headed, Forestville Road is another option. We're also working on a crash on I-95 in the northbound lanes involving a tractor trailer that caught fire. At least one lane we know is open right now there at Bagley Road, exit 105. So if you have somebody heading north on I-95 this morning, you might want to tell them to get off at Highway 96 over to Highway 42 and then pick up I-95 a bit later on. But elsewhere, all our major routes really around the Triangle and surrounding communities right now, delay-free.
That's good news. Thanks, Ken. New trouble for St. Aug. The lawsuits the university is now facing and how they relate to the school's ongoing financial struggles.
And paving progress. An important road reopens in western North Carolina. The latest improvement as that region continues to recover from Helene. Stick around. What's Trending is next.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Fans of the Boss will have a lot of new songs to listen to this summer.
Yeah, Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending, Ken.
Yeah, Michelle and Jeff. Bruce Springsteen planning to release a collection of 7 full-length albums in June. Tracks 2, the Lost Albums, will contain more than 80 songs that have never been publicly released. Springsteen recorded them all between 1983 and 2018.
That's going to be a whole lot of Bruce juice for people to take in there. Never publicly released. His friends and family have heard them, and anybody lucky enough to be in a bar when he just randomly shows up and starts playing on any given night, as he is wont to do. Ken, thanks for that. Can't wait to hear some of those.
Yeah.
For only the second time in 26 years, the ACC women's basketball tournament will not be played in Greensboro. In 2026, Gath South Arena in Duluth, Georgia will host the tournament March 4th through the 8th. Last time the tournament was held outside Greensboro was in 2017. The games were played in Conway, South Carolina. Duluth, Georgia, by the way, about 30 miles northeast of Atlanta. Securing your seats, what you need to know if you're looking for tickets to the Lenovo Center for the Canes postseason run toward the Stanley Cup.
And of course, we can see the hottest days so far this year. That actually means we have a minor to moderate heat risk for parts of the weekend. I'll show you how hot it will be for how long.
And part of Lewisburg Road is closed after a crash that killed 2 people this morning. Ken will be back after the break with how this will affect your morning commute.